This is Melina with How's Your Mental Health with Melina and Beth. I am Melina, and you are
Cowboy Joe. This is take number 2. I screwed up take number 1 because I was playing film roll sounds and didn't know it, and I thought it was her microphone the whole time.
It's always my stuff. It's never hers. How are you doing, Joe?
Well, obviously better than I was. Still getting better.
Good.
And still working on some stuff.
Good. But according to your name there, it's not Joe.
No, Beth. It's so boring sometimes.
Yeah. How has your day been?
Oh, my day has been great. I slept in, although the animals woke me up at 4:30.
When she says she slept in almost till noon.
4:30. I was up, letting a dog out the potty, feeding a cat and a dog. Then after about 30 minutes, I had to go let said cat out. Oh, she had already eaten, so she had to go out. And then after said cat went out, I went back to bed, went to sleep, and then the phone irritatingly started beeping, and I thought, oh, goodness, not right at 9 o'clock.
That was me.
I know, and it wasn't.
No, sir.
It wasn't 9 a.m. It was 10:40. I couldn't believe it. I was snoozing.
Yeah, I text at 9, and then I text at like 9:30, and I'm like, what in the world is she doing?
And I'm like, why is she texting me all the time?
Of course, then it got to almost 11 o'clock. I'm like, are you okay?
I think somebody would call.
Well, I have friends that I know that they'll respond to my text, including Beth. And when they don't, I'll go, are you okay? And if they still don't respond, then they get a phone call. No, you're not having none. No. I said no.
What's he wanting?
My Cheez-Its.
Well, give him one.
I did. That's why he wants more.
Well, doofus. That's how it works.
But he can listen too.
Yeah.
Our subject today is on depression. And I was reading some things, and I'm not going to bother with where I find them. If you want to look, you can. But one of the things that I read was that although depression is the most common diagnosed mental illness, it is not the most common. Anxiety is the most common. And I can understand that, I think. I don't know a whole lot about the issue, and Beth, you want to say it?
What?
We are not mental health providers.
God.
We are
We're not professionals. We're not providers. We're not professionals.
We are just.
I don't have $1 to give to nobody. I do have antibiotic cream that I keep handy for the cat or the dog in case accidents occur in the house.
We are two friends who like to share our experiences through various topics. I am the one that does the research. She is the one that does the comedy.
She's got to do something. It's her show.
It's our show. She likes to think she's not a part of it. But if you feel triggered by anything that we may say or do, please shut the video down immediately. We are not here to get views. We like them, but we are not here to get them. We're here to give you information. Your safety is the utmost priority. You can contact your support system, contact your local mental health facility. You can also contact the Suicide Prevention Hotline or 911. And please remember that if you contact 911, you let them know that it is for mental health reasons. Things have changed in the recent, I don't know if it's years or what, but they have put some things into place to help get the mental health, the person dealing with the mental health issue, the help that they need, instead of just sending police officers that who may not be trained in that area. So, and trust me, I've been on that receiving end, and it's not fun. But we are dealing with depression today. I suffer from depression. I suffer from bipolar, which is both manic and depression. And trust me, I can go to either one. And I have friends who deal with it. So it is very near and dear to my heart. As I was saying, a lot of people think that depression is the number one mental health issue in the U.S., and this was statistics in the U.S. But it's actually anxiety. And if you were ever to look at the, and I'm not going to say the name of the book because I always mess it up, but there's a book about that thick with the different diagnoses that clinical people have to use. And I mean, all of them has a spectrum of one thing or the other, but you have to have 4 to 5, I think it is, of one thing in that one diagnosis in order to have that diagnosis. So that's just a little tidbit of information, how you can get the diagnosis of one but still have the other. So, cool. And it's a DM. I don't know if it's 5 or 6 now. Maybe it's higher than that, but I know it's DM, and then it's the Roman numerals, whatever it is now. So it's a book that I want to get, but trust me, it's very expensive. So,
you don't need to go self-diagnosing yourself.
No. It's just it's a very interesting book.
I was going to say the internet's bad enough for that.
Yeah, and you don't want to trust the internet. But it's just, for me, it's an interesting book. You know, I like stupid things like that. Okay, our first one is the symptoms. I don't think is that what I wanted? Yeah, it is. Okay. It's the symptoms of depression, the signs and symptoms. And as soon as I can, here we are. For some reason, my mind don't want to work today, so I may be staring blankly for a minute. This here is the depression signs and symptoms. And as you can see, the guy is got his head hung down. He's got that gray cloud over his head, and it's raining. We've all been there. And one of them is helplessness. And I know you can't read it, and I got to use my bifocals to read it. I'm sorry. I can't read it either because it's in a different language. But helplessness, we all know what that is. We all felt it. It's when you don't feel like you can contribute to anything. That's my own definition. You all have your own. Beth, what's your definition of helplessness?
Well, let me see. I want to share the screen myself.
All right, I'm ready for you. All right. Okay.
I just did this test on Facebook, and it says, "How will you end your year?"
Pregnant. Yeah, right.
That's a big, deep depression, seeing how I'm almost Oh.
Almost old. I was wondering if you're going to say your age. Because I would. I'm very proud to be my age. Let's just say I'm 46.
I mean, I'm
And
going
she's
through
10 years-
menopause.
She's 10 years older than me. So you guys can do that. I'm 46 and she's 10 years older than me.
Why don't you just put it out there? Put it
I
out.
did. Now, what is your definition of helplessness?
That I just showed you.
Not being able to get pregnant? All right. The next one is guilt. Of course, we all know what these here are. My definition of guilt is feeling like there's something I could have done that I didn't do. What's yours, Beth?
Yeah, probably not getting something done that I really should have.
All right. Anger. I don't think we need a definition for anger.
No,
I think we all know what that is. Withdrawing from friends and family. That again is self. Yeah, I mean, you can just know what that is. And
yeah.
I have done it, you know. Well, I have tried to do it. Let's put it that way. Beth won't let me. So, I mean, because when I get, she knows when I'm not calling her, when I'm not texting her, something's not right. Because I am bad to bug her to blow up her phone. So, I mean, so when I'm not, she knows something's going on.
But I do enjoy the few hours that I get a piece of quiet.
No, she doesn't because she complains. No concentration. Now, this here is not saying that you can't have a day where you're mindlessly watching TV. You just want to de-stress, and because I know for me, I know for Beth, we like to just kind of stare at TV, you know. But this is saying say if I have a job as, I don't know, a transcriber for medical stuff, okay? And of course, you have to be able to concentrate on what you're reading and what you're typing. If I can't do both, then something's wrong because that's my job and that's what I'm used to doing. I can't concentrate enough. Now, for me now, I love doing crafts. And I love writing. I love playing my games. And if I can't do it, if I'm not doing my crafts, if I'm not doing my games, that's a warning sign for me that something's not right. We all have our own warning signs, and that's one of mine. What is one of yours, Beth, as far as concentration?
I just have a couple. I mean, mine is if I get a little anxious, then I know I'm not going to concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
If I get overwhelmed with something,
you're not going to concentrate.
I have to take whatever it is and say, "Whoa, stop. Let's slow this down in motion. Put it where it needs to be. Put it how it needs to be, so that my rest of my day can be optimal."
Right. Another one is thoughts of death. I mean, that is part of depression. And I'm not going to say that just thoughts of death will make it a depression diagnosis. It may help get that diagnosis, but there has been times when I am not actively suicidal, but I have thought, when Rocky be better off without me? Wouldn't so-and-so be better off without me? Those are the first telltale signs, the first flags that go up. Now, if you don't get out of that first flag stage and it goes in further, that's when you really, 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 really need to seek some help. Changes in appetite. That happens to some people, and it's hard for me to say whether it happens to me or not, because half the time I don't have much of an appetite. So I'm not sure. In May, I just haven't noticed. Beth, do you have a change in appetite?
Occasionally, but not much.
Right. Again, that's just, it's the individual. All of these here depend on the individual. Energy loss. Now that is me. I feel, and this here's my own terminology. Okay, I feel blah when I get into those situations, those mental states. I just feel blah. I don't want to do anything, and I'm not going to do anything. Beth, how do you have that loss of energy?
Oh yeah, kind of like let me show you this right here. Ashley, my cousin Ashley is so hilarious.
Yeah, she is.
I
And
love
she's
the
big
thing.
on Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
All right. The fitness trainer asked me, what kind of squat are you accustomed to doing? I said, diddly. Now, I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was very apropos.
Oh, yeah. That is definitely when you have a lack of energy, diddly squat. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It was
All
quite
right.
fitting for that moment.
Now, sleep problems. Now, I have a hard time with this one because I deal with insomnia anyway. And I don't think I have ever slept like excessively. But I can stay up longer than normal. And that's usually what ends me up into the hospital is the insomnia. So
whereas I get the sleepies.
yeah, you and I are opposites.
If I get depressed, I just want to stay in the bed and sleep.
Mm-hmm. And see, I stay up.
Yeah.
And for me, even in that state, normally you would think, at least you would try to stay in bed and go to sleep. I can't. I will be up and down, driving my baby over here nuts. So, let's see. And the other one really does not pertain to me because I don't do the alcohol or drug abuse, but I have family members who have. So I understand that it can be contributed to the depression. Beth, do you have anything as far as the alcohol and drug abuse?
No, I mean, sometimes I do a little bit of overindulgence, but I've been doing my best not to do that.
Well, overindulgence isn't quite abuse. So, like I said, I have family that really does the alcohol and drug abuse. Yeah. And it's just part of their coping mechanism, but it hurts them in the long run. Now this here,
I don't do it like I used to.
This here is coping statements. All right. I like this little boy the way he's just sitting there.
Are you going to share the screen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I did. I'm sorry.
You want us to see it?
Yeah. I like the way this little boy is sitting there, you know. It's take one step at a time. You've heard, well, some of you may have heard the song, take one day at a time. Well, this here is just one step at a time. And I have actually gone as far as saying take 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 second at a time. Whatever you need to do to get you to that next moment. Another one is I am learning to take each day as they come. We can't really, we can control our part of every day, but we can't control what others do in that day. So we have to really just say, okay, this is what happened today. We're going to handle it this way. You know, I can't control how, I don't know, my neighbors are. You know, I can't control my neighbors, nor could they control me. And if there's ever a situation between the neighbors and I, again, the only one that I can control on that situation is me and how I respond to that situation. So, a bad day or week does not equal a bad life. We all have bad days. We all have bad weeks. And I'm even going to say some of us may even have a bad month, you know. But eventually it will get better. And that's eventually we have to really hold on to that because sometimes it may not feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Not all thoughts are true. Depression lies to me. And oh, that is so true. I have been told in my depressive state, I was telling this to myself, I don't belong anywhere. Nobody would ever want me in their life. I am stupid. I am this. I am that. And again, all of those statements are false. You know, I am not stupid. I may do dumb things sometimes, but that don't make me stupid. That just means I do dumb things sometimes.
We all do dumb things sometimes.
So, I mean, depression will lie to you. You need to know that you are worthy, you are special, you belong. I mean, everyone belongs somewhere. Even if you don't feel like it, you belong somewhere. And if you're not in that environment yet, it will come because for a long time, I really did not feel like I belonged anywhere. And then Beth came into my life and she introduced me to her family. And it's like, I finally belong somewhere, you know? I mean, I have friends. So, and it took, we've been friends for 3-4 years now. And as I said, I'm 46. So I was like 40, 41, maybe 42, somewhere around there. Not good with math. For me to really know that I belong somewhere. So it will come. It's just a matter of not giving up. Let's see. I am capable of doing hard things. We all are. We may not think so, but we all are. I mean, I never thought for a minute that I would be doing a video. I would know enough of the computers to do the videos. Because when I went to school, we didn't have computers. Well, we did, but we had one class on them, and that was literally it. So what I know about computers, I've taught myself. Yes, it was hard, but I'm getting there, and I'm still learning every day.
Doing an excellent job.
And Beth, I know with her job, she learns things constantly. So, I mean, how boring would life be if we already knew how to do things all the time? So, I mean, we need to expect some things to be hard.
Yep.
My emotions or my diagnosis doesn't define me. And I've already spoken on that. You know, that is one of my big things is not to let your diagnosis define you. I am not depression. I am not bipolar. I am not anxiety. I am a person who has to deal with these things. And that's all it is to it. Let's see. Even though I may not feel it now, things will get better. Oh, yeah. I mean, and it's hard to tell people that if they're in the midst of depression because they really aren't going to believe you. But
okay, I'm going to date myself here very radically, but I know you know the song too because you can't help but think about it.
What's that?
If you ever watch Laverne and Shirley. Just what makes that little old ant
Oh, yeah.
think he can move a rubber tree plant? Anyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant. But he's got high hopes.
Yeah, I like that song. That's one of the things I always like Laverne and Shirley because of that song.
Yep.
Yeah. No matter
I
what.
pulled that up and I did not realize Frank Sinatra wrote that song.
I don't think I knew that either. I don't know many songs of Frank Sinatra, so I don't think I would know.
I know a lot of his, but I had no idea that he
The
wrote
only
that
thing
one.
I know about Frank Sinatra, and this is mainly because my parents didn't listen to it, is that he was called Blue Eyes or something like that. So
He
that's
was
the only
indeed.
thing I know. So I may know some of his songs if I heard them, but I wouldn't know that he was the one that was either written them or sung them. So, and the last thing on here is I am worthy of healing and recovery. And we all are, you know. But I honestly think that even with my bipolar, I I don't think there's a cure for bipolar. You know, it's there and it's gonna be there as until we know any something different. But and when I think of healing, I think of it being gone. So it's just like learning to live with it and learn from it, you know, because you can learn from your illness. I mean, you learn from diabetes on what carbs not to eat, what sugars not to eat. You learn from high cholesterol what foods not to eat. You know, you learn how to exercise because doctors are big on exercise. You know, so I have learned from my bipolar, my depression, my anxiety. I've learned from my anxiety that I am stronger than what I think I am. So I mean, you can learn from it. So now the next one is the difference between feeling sad and depression, because some people may get the two mixed up. Because just because you're sad does not mean you have depression. And we'll go this one at a time. Grief is experienced as sadness. On the other side, it involves a lack of self-worth. Okay, and sad but able to smile about memories of the deceased needs social interaction. Okay, loss of self-esteem is under depression. And then the next one can be mixture of good and bad days. And then on the depression is hopelessness. The other side is may feel guilt around specific issues. And the other is overwhelming generalized guilt, which means plate could fall and you feel guilty because that plate fall. Some cat got ran over, even though you're not the one that did it. You feel guilty because of that. I mean, no matter what it is, how minute or big it is, you're the one that feels guilty for it. May have thoughts of joining the deceased, not actively suicidal. That's like what I was saying. Maybe Rocky would be better off without me. Okay. Suicidal thoughts. Now, the difference between the two is suicidal thoughts are, I want to die, you know. And now the next two, I actually had to look up these words because I didn't know what they were. Flat effect that persists. I've never heard of the term flat effect. And before I start, do you know what it is, Beth?
No, I don't.
It is a lack of emotion. Kind of like being in a robot mode, in my opinion. And that is, I can't even imagine how that would feel for those who have to deal with it, because I am full of emotion. And the other one, I do not know how to pronounce that word. Do you know how to pronounce it? All I know is that it's a lack of pleasure. So the first one, flat effect, is lack of emotion, and the last one is lack of pleasure.
Lack of pleasure. Yeah. I'm
How do
trying
you?
to see the pronunciation.
Yeah.
Anidonin. I'm still not saying it right.
Well, hopefully there's people out there that will know what that word is.
It's
So,
emotional flattening.
well, according to this
Yeah.
here, lack of pleasure is the last one, and lack of emotion is the flat effect.
Yeah.
So, um, but now that this here's done, I've got a couple of funny things for us to look at. Okay, at least they were funny for me because when I looked at them, I smiled and I giggled a little bit. So let's see here. And this here says, "There's corn and corn flakes. What's in my cat chow?" I thought that was cute. Especially with the look on that cat's face.
True. True.
And now I really got this last one for Beth. So, are you ready, Beth?
A squirrel.
But read it.
And just like that, poof. I can't read the bottom of it.
Weekend's gone.
Oh, yeah, that's the truth.
I got that for you.
I know you're going to squirrel because I'm always like, squirrel.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
Well, all of it
Squirrel.
was for you. I mean, literally all of it, you know?
Look, purple object. Squirrel.
Yeah, she does that all the time. But I figured we could laugh at the end. So
Definitely. Definitely.
so that is our video. Beth, would you have anything to add?
Nope. Great job.
Well, I hope for those of you who deal with depression, you are at least seeking help for it because there is no shame in asking for help. So, and just know that I'm here. My email is down there. You can comment on the YouTube channel if you need to talk with anybody. And just remember, though, please, if you are suicidal, to seek professional help. I would greatly appreciate that because that would bother me, and I know that I couldn't help you. So, but I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope y'all have a blessed day.
Bring us to the big picture.
Hold on. I gotta get the thing over here. There we go.
All right.
Well, I want that swirl up for a little bit.
Be good to you.